Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to Diotior Productions as we jump into part 1 of our Mount and Blade Bannerlord series. Today we are going to start our journey. Now, on the live streams we played with Chase. Today, and for the rest of this series, we are jumping in as Baloo. Why not? Let's go through all of the bunnies. My offline practice games are with Willow at the moment, so the trifecta is ensured. So here we have our choices of what advantages we want for our game. We have the Vlandians, who are very almost empirical, but different. As you can see, the Vlandians are descendants of adventurers from the west who lived under the Empire for centuries before forming an independent kingdom. With the decline of imperial authority, they have evolved into a well-organized feudal society led by a caste of warlike nobles who prefer to fight with spears and lances on horseback, and they get 20% more upgraded XP from troops in battle. We have the Sturgeons, who are the descendants of foreign tribes of northern Calradia. As the Empire expanded into their cold forest, they found a ready market for luxurious furs of woodland animals whom they traditionally hunted and trapped. Sturgeon chiefdoms became princes, vying for preeminence with the help of Nord mercenaries who migrated into their realm. They are good hunters and wanderers, travelling far in search of opportunities, both for trade and plunder, and they get 20% less penalty from snow, which isn't great, really. The Empire is in decline, even before the murder of our Emperor Irenicus. The once united realm was torn by political rivalries. Today those factions are in open war, yet Calradians endure. They are technologically more advanced than their neighbours, and their master of engineering is not just evident in their aqueducts, beautiful architecture and massive city walls. It also makes them experts in siege warfare, which gives you 20% construction speed bonus to town projects, wall repairs and siege engines, which under the right circumstance can be useful. However, not in all of them. You have the Asurai, who are inhabitants of the Nahasa Desert, a mixture of nomadic Bedouin and settled oasis farmers. They are famous for their horsemanship and knowledge of learning of many lands, especially medicine, gained from lying on some of the continent's most lucrative trade routes. Each clan is fiercely proud of its lineage and often jealous of the others, but when united by a charismatic leader, they become a major force in the south. This is what I mainly go for, mainly for the caravan and trade penalty. You have the Khuzaits, who are steppe tribes confederation of steppe tribes used to live a nomadic life, but have recently settled in the eastern frontier of the empire and are slowly transitioning into a agrarian society with permanent town centres. Despite words. They retain many aspects of their nomadic life, including their affinity with horses. They are masters of mounted archery, shooting, and then galloping out of reach. And yes, the steppe archers, the Khuzait archers, are amazing. And they get bonus speed for horsemen on the campaign map. We have the Botanians. Still remember the olden days when the woods stretched across northern Calradia and the Empire and its cities had yet to violate their sanctity. The fierce warriors remain loyal to their traditional ways. They paint their faces when going into battle, and even their noblemen prefer to fight on foot or using great axes and two-handed swords with deadly efficiency. And this is in forests. You have 10% less speed penalty, which again can be very useful. There's a lot of forest that you run through. I've never really chosen one for the forest penalty, which now I'm tempted 2. Yeah, let's go for the battalions. We are playing as Baloo, so I have one of the mods that lets me adjust, like give more sliders. So
Keep your ground. Attack. Pull back. Pull back.
and then we can
Stand your ground. Line formation. Form a line.
there we go.
Pull back.
There we go. Belly. We can chunky. I keep him somewhere in the middle. Hips. Again, I realise you can't see most of this because it's behind the slider. There you go. Just stare at his butt. Again, can't see his butt. Tiny butt. Thighs can be slightly smaller. Most of this is like doesn't look great when it's skinny feet. Torso size. Bigger chest. Bigger neck. Smaller shoulder. Bigger. Upper arm. Bigger. He's a man of muscle. With tiny hands. And giant man. With a face, I'm really bad at building faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you look stupid. Again, some of this will change, but generally the overall. And then we mash the eyes and change the color. Here we go. And jaw. And hair. I got more hair. Let's go for something like that. Most of the time you want okay, his face looks weird from the side, but you know, we'll roll with it. And big beard? No. No, that's not Baloo. There we go, that'll do. Put some clothes on, man. Really puffy shoulders. And then do we want to put anything on his face? No. Keep his face clean, like. And now we get into the part where we look at our skills. So you were born into a family of the members of the Chieftain's Hearthguard, which gives us two-handed and bow skill. Healers, which is charm and medicine. Tribespeople, which gives you endurance and throwing skills. Smiths, which obviously gives you smithing and two-handed skills. Foresters, which gives you scouting and tactics. And the Bards, which gives you roguery and charm. Chieftain's Hearthguard. As a child, you are noted for your leadership, your brawn, your attention to detail, aptitude for numbers, your way with people, or your skill with horses. He has a really stupid face when he is a small child. People or horses? Horses. Screw people. During your adolescence, like all village children, you helped out in the field. You also herded the sheep. You worked in the village smithy. You repaired projects. You gathered herbs in the wild, which gives you an endurance point, which is lots of endurance. And cunning and medicine. Hunted small game. Or you sold produce at the market. Hunted game or worked in a smithy? Hunted game. As a youngster growing up in Calradia, war was never too far away. You were a chieftain's sergeant, which, yeah. Trained with the Hearth Guard, which is what I was born in to do. Stood with the garrison. Rode with the scouts. Trained with the infantry. Or joined the cairn. Scouts. Scouts. Before you set out your life for adventure, your biggest achievement was defeating an enemy in battle, successful manhunt, investing in some land, hunted a dangerous animal, had a famous escapade in town, or you treated people well. Let's say that we invested money in some land. Like many families in Calradia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by the passage of an army after army. Eventually you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother and your two younger siblings to a new town you'd heard was safer, but you did not make it. Along the way, the inn in which you were staying was attacked by raiders, your parents were slain and your two youngest siblings seized. You and your brother survived because we subdued a raider, we drove them off with arrows, we rode off on a fast horse, tricked the raiders, or organized the travelers to break out. Let's subdue a raider. Yeah. And we are, like I said, Baloo. Let's get this show on the road. So we have troops receiving damage is realistic. Friendly parties receiving damage is realistic. Player receiving damage is realistic. Recruitment difficulty is realistic. Map movement speed is realistic. And combat AI is veteran. We are enabling death, which means heroes are able to die on the battlefield. Not me, but other heroes. Not seen it come into play though. And auto allocating clan member perks just means that they deal with the crap for me. Brother, it's been 3 days now since we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue Farok and Athene? Are we up for a fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush off our skills. Practice could come up useful when we catch up with the raiders. Now, I have played a lot of this game. However, for the purpose of this video, we will come back next time and play through the tutorial. Yes, I know character creation is boring, but having it separate to the tutorial I think will be a good thing. So from there, I will thank you for coming out to watch today. I will see you next time. And make sure you check out all of the information in the description below and whatever I put on the screen. For now, thank you very much. Diotior, out!